Good morning, NASA.
Alright. Oh, are we going?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the timer will start once I gain control of the character, and I'll just say go when to start the timer. Alright. Because we have to go through this little intro cutscene. But this is Monsters Inc. Scream Team. And it is a game that many people might remember from early childhood. It was a PS1 game. And we'll start it. Hold on. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the
Yeah, the game starts off with a an orientation tutorial level. It just goes by like the basic stuff you have to do in the game.
Yeah.
now for the
And all relies on these mailboxes giving you information with raws in the background.
this next level.
Yeah, while orientation is going on,
Fantastic.
something interesting about the speedrun is that what makes this time so fast is there's a glitch called metal duping, and for the longest time people had no idea that it would actually be useful in a speedrun. But then BAM actually decided to try routing it, and it turns out it was fast. So
Great,
here we
you
are.
made it.
Yeah, it's very fast, because basically there's a bunch of medals that you have to get throughout the game. To be, oh, I accidentally hit a mailbox. To be total 12 bronze medals is officially what we say to beat the game, because that's what triggers the final cutscene. But if you do a specific trick, then you can duplicate the medals, and you can just skip entire levels, and it saves
Amazing.
roughly 10 minutes over the entire run, which is crazy.
Yeah, the world record for this by BAM is 22 minutes, while the one without metal dupes is a 33.
32,
Fantastic.
32
40
actually,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both by BAM, of course.
Yeah.
In front of you.
So yeah, here's the main part of the game, is you collect the ooze cans, and then you have to scare these robots. And you have to scare 5 of them for each level, and then you'll get the bronze medal. So we'll just keep going. But if you notice, there's a bar on the left-hand side of the screen, which fills up as you collect the ooze cans, and each color that it gets to represents what color nerve we can scare. So
Great,
the
you
route that we
made it.
take is ooze perfect. So we need to get every single ooze can that we find in order to
Now pay
scare the correct nerves.
Yeah, there are 5 different levels that you have to do, and you really outside of orientation, you don't really see the maximum level until categories 100%.
Yeah. Or in this case, this one, because you would think that you just want to get the 5 basic nerves, which can range anywhere from the blue one to the oranges. But then there's the special ones, which are red, which you will see in just a little bit. But in this category, we actually get a couple reds to perform the metal duping glitch.
Yeah.
And there's the bronze medal. So remember that animation. That is going to be extremely important,
Amazing.
because it's going to do some funky things later.
To get the silver
Very
medal.
funky things.
Alright, now we collect all these tokens, and this will give us the silver medal, which we don't need in this category. Category is just beat the game as fast as possible. So, 10 tokens per level gives you the silver.
Great, you made it. To obtain the gold.
And this is the last room of orientation, thankfully. But you can see how much ooze we have to collect just to be able to get to the next level, so normally it's not super efficient to go for the reds because how much ooze you need.
Are you going for pause skips?
Yes.
Yeah, this was actually found out not too long before, like, metal duping was viable for speedruns. So there are a couple frames where if you pause at the correct moment, you can basically skip the metal skip animation, which saves like 15 seconds each or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Bam is going to try and do that here. It doesn't save as much time as it does in other levels, but
This one is 2 seconds.
yeah.
But there's a specific couple frames that I can pause on, and if I don't get it, I'm just gonna skip it, because if I don't skip it, then... Let's see. That's it. You can see, I got the medal there, but I didn't have to sit through the animation, and we can just keep going. Alright, so now we get to use Sully because he has a really broken thing called ground pounds. Or belly flops. He can just get extra height.
Yeah, normally here, you unlock the trampoline after getting all the medals, I believe, in Urban.
Yes.
And, like, you're supposed to just use the trampoline to go up there, but as you saw, you can just skip using a ground pound. Jink.
Yeah, that one's been known for a long time. But we skipped a nerve at the beginning there on purpose. And this route is used in any percent without metal duping for the most part, except that we get the nerve that we skipped. But there's a specific reason that we skipped that one. So we'll just continue on here collecting. There's a specific amount of ooze that we need to collect there. We'll keep scaring these nerves. And then we'll do an interesting thing here, which is... we'll quit back to Scare Island, which may seem weird, but if you go back in, all the ooze is refreshed. So it allows us to get all these intro oozes and all of the reds up here, which adds up quite a bit, and we can already get the red.
The thing is that, like, doing this route normally and non-metal duping saves like 5 seconds or something, while, like, it's absolutely necessary for metal duping.
Yeah. So here's the first metal duping trick. See if you can spot the difference.
It's gonna be a real challenge.
That should be perfect. See there? After I go into the water, I just magically collect 2 medals. So that's a metal dupe. It's absolutely free.
Even now, I can't believe this works.
It's amazing. Okay. So now we go into the park, and the thing with metal duping is it can only be done in specific areas because you have to fall into water. For some reason, that's the only way to trigger it. If you get hit by an enemy and die, it doesn't count. So there's only a few specific levels that we can do it in. There's 2 in the urban, and then 2 in the desert. And then we'll just finish the game. But one of the little intricacies of it is that there's 2 ways that the game checks to see... there's one way that the game checks to see if you finish the game, which is if you collect all 12 bronze medals. Well, if you seemingly collect all the 12 bronze medals. And then the other thing is, to get on to the next level section, because you saw that there was 4 here, you actually need to get all the bronze medals from that level section. So we have to complete all of Urban just to get onto the pyramid section to be able to do more.
But yeah, after that it gets jankier and jankier.
Yeah, the farther we go, the wilder the routes are to take that we take to just be able to dupe.
Booga 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 booga. Ow, oh, ow, oh, ow, oh. Booga 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 booga. Blah, 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 blah. Ow!
Alright, almost on the park. I'm going to attempt another animation skip at the end of this one. Just to save a little extra time.
Booga booga booga. Booga 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 booga.
Nice. And the way that we can tell if we got the correct animation skip is if that text box appears. Or the medal.
Yeah, if you get it perfectly, there's both the medal and the text box, but
Yeah, I believe
having
that's
a text
frame
box
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get the text box, then if there's a single one that I miss that text box, then I actually won't be able to complete the game unless I do the full route. So that's why if I miss it by a couple frames, then I'm just going to eat the animation so that way I can actually finish the game. Ooh.
So something interesting about like pause skips is that like at least the non-metal skips, it really isn't until like ice where like the text box really like comes into play. It is really important because in the end, there's in rando race, there's so after you get the final medal, you're supposed to teleport into the final rando race. Well, like if you don't get all the text boxes, you could end up having to talk to Randall and doing it there.
Yeah.
Which loses some time.
Booga 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 booga.
Okay, I missed it that time. I just didn't even get the pause. So, you can see how much faster it is now that we're actually watching the animation.
Oh yeah, also, you're supposed to have a, after every single medal, you're supposed to get a cutscene, which is like, since it's a Pixar game on the PS1, it's just like a cutout from the movie, because it seems like they're too lazy to make their own cutscenes, but that's only available on the console version, but not the PC version.
Yeah, which makes it really nice for us streaming this, because we don't have to worry about getting DMCA struck because we have parts of a Disney movie in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that the Marathon's happy about not getting DMCA struck. Alright, so this is Docks. You can see that there's a lot of water around, so you can probably guess what we'll be doing at the end of this level. Alright, let's see if I can get this also. If I... Nice. Oh, I jumped off the wrong side. So you can jump in the water and teleport all the way over here. But I guess I jumped in the wrong side of the water, so I did not get the cool teleport.
Yeah, it doesn't save much time. Like at all.
It's like 3 or 4 seconds, which at a high level is a whole lot of time.
True.
Okay, we're falling in the water. That's cool. Sometimes the jumps are a little bit weird and it just doesn't flip you. Alright. So you're very close to the water with this one. So save this one for last and then... Woohoo!
Frame perfect. Frame perfect trick.
Oh, I love it. Every time it's so good. It'll never get old.
It really doesn't.
Alright. So now we've finished the bronze medals, we can skip this race that we're supposed to do with Randall. Because you actually don't need it to beat the game, so... Unfortunately, that race is my favorite song in the entire game, which is kind of sad. Okay, so...
Yeah.
I kind of forgot where to go for a second. But it's fine. So, next is the tomb, and this one has one of the biggest skips. You can go ahead and explain that.
This is one of the most interesting of the skips. You get a red nerve here, and basically if you get this, you can skip another level. But in the next level, you skip like three levels.
Yeah. That's not the skip that I was talking about. I meant tomb skip.
Oh,
explain that one?
Oh yeah, tomb skip. Oh. Basically, you grab the box and you place it down on top of the tomb, and it just teleports you into the tomb if you just like run around.
Yeah, we'll see that. So there's this puzzle that we're supposed to do, where you're supposed to grab these blocks that are on the ground right there, and you're supposed to put them in these pads, and each one of them has a symbol. And it
Not fast.
it takes a long time. You'll see walking with the box is super slow. Then we just jump on top, we can get it to clip in, and then we can get Sully to hit the trigger. And it only works with Sully because his hitbox is big enough to push the block in. Mike's isn't, he just is... he's really annoying.
Mike is really bad for this level.
And now we're in the tomb and we can just keep going. We do have to do these blocks, but luckily we can just throw them. Oh, I missed.
Yeah, believe it or not, that tomb skip was actually known for a while. In one of the first world records, Sir Sanju was able to get that, I believe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's been known for forever, since I picked up the game back in 2016. Oh, there we go. Nice. Alright, this level is just... Even though we have the big skip, this level's super long. Mostly because the end is 2 oranges and a yellow, I think, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Plus the quote-unquote puzzle solving.
Yeah. But yeah, up on the platform there usually you get that nerve, but you save up just enough ooze, and you end up having to get a red, so that you can fall in the water and dupe.
Yeah. This one we didn't know if it would be possible because the water's pretty far down here and you don't have a lot of time to get to the water. But once we found out that this red existed, then as you could just... It works.
Yeah, and like the reason why this skip isn't like viable, why it actually isn't possible for other levels like Pyramid, for instance, where you fall off. It has to be really fast. You need to die really fast for it to work.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why you have to be like right next to the water, for instance, in docks, in order to get the skip.
Okay, please. Pyramid is such an annoying level for collision. Because all those slopes will cause you to slide. If you just tap them.
Yeah, there's a boulder in one of the later ones that can be like really bad with this route that Bam is doing.
Yeah. But it is
Because you have to
faster. Oh, go ahead.
Nothing.
Okay. It's faster to just run off the side there, instead of going all the way to the top of the pyramid to leave.
Yeah, running off the side there is what I was talking about with it not being viable.
Oh, yeah.
Because like one of our runners was really confused why you couldn't just run off the edge there and dupe a medal. Well, it's just a bit too slow.
Yeah, the animation plays, and once you exit the animation, then it plays a death animation, I think, instead, so it's weird.
About ground. Yeah, and about ground pound. There's a red ooze up there, like next to the tree. That you just got the yellow nerve on. The old route was to use Solly and ground pound and get that, but you just get an extra red ooze down there. Also, Boulder being Boulder.
Yep, there's the classic boulder. Doing this route makes that cycle super bad.
Yeah.
Inevitably bad.
Yeah, it's with the older route or just with Solly, it's not as much of an issue.
Nice. Alright, so now it's Oasis. The final level, actually. Crazy. This is, in my opinion, by far the most interesting of the routes.
Yeah, very interesting. Towards the end here, you have to get a red ooze, a red nerve, and which is usually only used in Hundo, but you'll see why we need to get the red nerve.
Yeah. So we have to memorize this pattern. It's a gimmick here: orange, blue, green. So chat, remember that for later. And then here. When I was practicing this earlier, I actually forgot a nerve, so let's not do that this time. And I know which one I forgot. Oh, and it'll actually give us a chance to show off yet another cool trick. Alright, so now we have perfect red ooze already, because we collected ooze and then just left. So we collected 2, so we're gonna go inside, which is normally not fast. We can do a really cool trick here. Where if I just... So you're supposed to use boost pads to get down to that nerve. That's a boost pad, but see, the boost pad isn't activated, so let's just go on foot. Oh, hey, look at that!
Yeah. You get the boost pad after completing all the sand bubbles. I meant to backtrack here, but you can just do this.
Yeah. It just clips to the cage for some reason. I honestly still don't understand it. I've played this game for 5 years, but yeah. So here we're just going to casually triple jump with Mike. Because if you flutter jump and then mash jump, you can get an extra jump there.
Yeah, that is actually really useful with the no metal dupe route because of ski lift.
I actually forgot it.
Red,
orange,
green.
blue, green. Wasn't red. Okay. That's embarrassing. Okay. So we specifically saved this one for last. You might think, it's a blue, you should have gotten that way earlier. But this is fine. If we get it here, and then...
Oh boy.
3. Because it dupes, and then there's an animation playing during that dupe, so when that animation is done, then it actually plays the metal animation, so we get 3 there.
Same perfect trick.
And now if I leave... Huh. I don't remember ever doing snow, but okay. This is the... We actually have to finish this random race, because this is what triggers the final cutscene.
But you don't have to win it.
Yeah, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to collect 175 of these tokens, I think, something like that.
Yeah, 175.
Yeah, and finish the race and beat Randall. Actually, you know what? I don't know how much time I've spent, but I'm pretty sure that I'm ahead of pace. So... Oh, wait, why is the slingshot active? Okay, never mind. Oh, right, because I did watch it. So that slingshot actually isn't active if you skip the metal animation, because it doesn't play the like walking animation that you saw right before I entered the race. was gonna show off that Randall actually soft locks because he aims for the slingshot, and can't get to it because it exists somewhere else, so he'll just soft lock. But don't get to show that.
Bonk, let's go.
And time.
Just don't have what it takes.
GG.
GG. So that's Monsters Inc. Scream Team with metal duping. So we just quit to Scare Island.
We are here today
And what was the
to
time?
congratulate James P. Sullivan and Michael
I don't know. I didn't have a timer running.
for
Let me look at the
their
stream.
on-target completion of level 1.
The time was 24:18.
24:18. That's pretty solid for just a no reset.
I am honored
Yeah, better
to
than
present
second
you
place.
both with bronze medals
Game me.
to commemorate your achievement. Congratulations
So yeah,
to you both.
very fun game. Pretty fast. A lot of really cool tech. I'll show off one of my favorite pieces of tech here. Randall always walks in a specific path. So if you hit him and stand in his path, please. There we go. You can get him soft locked. And he will just infinitely run there. So yep, shout outs to everybody in the Monsters Inc. Speedrunning. They've come across some really cool things that we've implemented now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody wants to pick up the game, just hit us up in our Discord. You can find it on speedrun.com. Tons of people that are happy to help with every little thing. You got anything to say, Tims?
Yeah, the game is broken.
As you can see. Do the other people have anything to add? The hosts.
I would just like to thank you guys for showing off this amazing speedrun. And
course.
if you'd like to say your goodbyes, we could go back to the intermission shortly.
Alright, yeah. Thanks for having us. It was a great opportunity. Love to show off this game. Yeah. I will see ya.
Thanks for having us.